Well, good morning, everybody. I'm back at the cabin finally, and it's minus 22. It's really cold out this morning. You hear the crunching of the snow under my feet. You can tell it is really, really cold. Usually in the minus 20s, it starts to make that squeaking noise. Royce is picking his feet up. He's cold. Well, his body's warm. His feet are cold, so he's out doing his quick walk this morning. We're going to go get some breakfast. There she is, just like we left her. Don't know how long the sun's going to last today, but I'll take every second of it. I think the highs today are minus 14, which won't be too bad. Must say I'm a little bit low on propane this morning. Not a good thing, but I do have a reserve tank, so that should be okay. Pretty cold last night. We got here, it was minus 10, and didn't take too long, you know, and the cabin was in the pluses, but this morning the cabin was about 9 degrees. Even just try to conserve the propane, I kept it at low last night, so it was about 9 degrees to 11 degrees for sleeping, which is fine. But it's a little chilly. It's going to be warming up for the duration of the time that we're here, so I'm not too worried. And like I said, I also have a reserve tank of propane here, so always good to have backup. Royce is back to watching for the birds. We put out the feeder this morning. He likes surveying the property. I'm going to have to keep a really close eye on him this morning. He is a bit of a polar bear. He doesn't get too cold except for his feet, but I have to keep checking in on him. And I'm not going to let him out too much this morning till it warms up a bit. Is any doubt how cold it was? Take a look at the frost and the coming out from the exhaust from the propane heater. Burning propane produces a bit of water, so that's where it ended up. Oh boy. I've got my auto switch over on, so sucking both of these tanks dry. Well, once one empties, it'll switch over to the next one, and like I said, I have a backup tank as well, which is always a good thing for times like this. One of my subscribers wanted to see the gas connection, so that's what it looks like from the outside. So beautiful in the woods this morning. You can hear a lot of the trees cracking very early this morning because it was so cold. Oh, there's one there. So cold, the trees are cracking. Birds are actually out and about. So this little goofball. So yeah, decided to put some seeds out for them. Hopefully they show up soon. They need some calories too. Gotta get the coffee going this morning. It's so cold. You just see it there on the, I don't see my reflection, but you can see about minus 25 actually. Brr. Just having the usual for breakfast. Got an orange as well. Fruit. Bacon inside too. I'll do that after this. Be good. I just threw on some back bacon there. You don't even see it for all the steam. This is the one I got. Very good. It's gonna be good, guys. It's like breakfast cooked outdoors. It smells so good. Didn't take the birds too long to find the feeder. They're going to appreciate those calories this morning. Whew. First time this year I've got red poles at the feeder. You guys have seen these before. They love eating seeds. It's been an eruption of them this year, and I guess it's the first time I've seen them at the cabin in probably a really long time. This is cool. So I keep track of the birds here at the cabin, and this little booklet's actually finished, but look, the last time I saw the common redpoll was back in 2016 here at the cabin, so that's really awesome. Here we are, 2021, and the redpolls are back. So here's my new booklet, and I'm starting fresh. So this one will take me to 2025, so we'll see what cool birds we find. Little squirrel's enjoying some of the seeds by one of the feeders. He ran over there and disappeared in the snow, trying to get beneath the feeder. It's too funny. It's nice to have running water in the winter. The previous setup that we had would always freeze, but this seems to thaw really well, and we've got our water set up. It's just connected to a jug underneath the sink, so this is really exciting. Wanted to show you all the beautiful new drying rack that we have here at the cabin. So it's a nice piece of walnut with a few hooks on it. Put up a cloth from this morning. It's already dry. Great spot to dry out the gloves, just above the little propane heater. So That's awesome. Royce is pretty pumped. We've started working on some trails just so we can walk a little bit in the field here. The ones you see here, I just started. He led the way. He told me where he wanted to go, and I followed him behind the snowmobile. He just loves it. It's a good way to work him out too. I don't go too fast, and he kind of runs beside me. He has a grand old time. You also see this time I've got him in these little pants there. It really helps with the snow. Like, you can see his beard. Look how much snow he has on there. That is what his legs and his belly look like. So having this little these little pants on helps a lot, because he could easily carry 5 pounds of ice on his legs. They don't tend to brie bouvier with the working coat anymore. It's just a show coat, which is really fluffy. So it becomes a bit of a nightmare for mud and muck and ice and snow. So got these. It's already making a huge difference. It just means he can stay out a bit longer. I don't have to bring him in, you know, because he's soaking wet, you know, and back out again in minus 20. You know, it's just not good for him. So they work really well. They elastic around the feet, so no ice and snow gets up on the legs. And Matt's into these big heavy snowballs and icicles. Like, he used to get so upset with his legs like that. He'd just sit there and just start ripping his hair out and stuff, and he'd be soaking wet for a while. So I'm happy actually with this purchase. I got him on Amazon, I think. Just working on adjusting the idle for the snowmobile, and we're getting there, so that's good. So part of the socialization process is learning all about snowmobiles, where he needs to position himself if he's, you know, playing with me on the snowmobile, and that other people's snowmobiles are not okay to run after or bark at. So we do a lot of training here at the cabin, and I also take him on the Trans-Canada Trail, where there's all kinds of people, you know, skiers, and of course a lot of snowmobilers. And so we do drills. When he sees a snowmobile, what he has to do is he has to pull over on the side of the trail and sit down and wait till it passes. And a lot of sledders are really considerate and will obviously, you know, pull over and, you know, go really slowly by us. So it's really been good. Only took a couple of sessions for him to realize that you know, it's not okay for him to go crazy after other people's snowmobiles. So really important if you have dogs in rural areas is to socialize them to snowmobiles and the rules surrounding them. So as you can see, his legs are pretty good, but the only problem we have now is that between the feet. He absolutely hates boots on his feet of any kind, even little balloons. So you know, we'll have to figure something out, but those pants really are a great find. And for lunch, I'm gonna have Campbell's minestrone soup. Just gotta heat it up. So cold out there working on those trails. That looks good. All right, we'll heat that up and enjoy our lunch. Looks like my lunch is ready. Oh yeah, oh, that's gonna be so nice. Nice saltines on top. Lunch is served. There you go, that's how I like my soup. The saltines and a little bit of cheese on top. Bon appetit. Oh, that's really hot. Or I'm really cold. That's really good. It's so good to be back at the cabin, guys. So good. Gotta remove this thing. It's busted. I can't close the door. So, just little projects working on here today. There we go. Finally took it off. It's just a little mechanism to kind of catch the door and then swing it completely shut like that. But it's getting pretty stiff. And every time it doesn't activate and the door sits open. So, just going to take this off for now. Originally this was put on there because our cats would push the door open and try to get outside. But now the one, he's pretty old, so he doesn't bother with that. So I think I'm just going to leave it off. So I want to show you guys the battery is charging here with those solar panels in the field. Battery's at 13.8 volts. It's awesome. Just want to update you on the mouse situation. We're here on the deck and you can see in the top corner, it's been chewed open. So that's what they're getting in. So I'm going to get to them with the steel wool. Bye-bye mice. There's a close-up. Haha. This was plugged before and now it's not. So it's going to get plugged again. And there we go. Just temporary for now. And then I'm going to put some spray foam in there and more steel wool. But it's a start.
Periods of snow beginning this morning. Expect 2 to 4 centimeters. The high -5, wind chill -16 this morning.
I think I'm gonna go for a little snowshoe now with Royce. Hopefully I brought my snowshoes, or rather, I don't think I brought them. I'm just gonna get my snowshoes in here. Well, I left my ones from Kirk north of 51 at home. So I've got my old ones here, the bear paw shaped snowshoes. We're out in the woods today. It's beautiful crystalline snow that we have, so perfect for snowshoeing, not too heavy. Nice to explore the forest. Alrighty, good to go. Love these bindings. They're just like, you can get them from a rubber tire basically and cut them out. It's easy to get your shoe in and out, and they stay on. And I really like the bear paw, especially around here. There's a lot of twigs and sticks and stuff, so you can easily pivot without getting them caught on twigs or sticks. So yeah, these are nice. I really like these ones too. Yeah, this is a perfect snow for this, that's for sure. So you can just like flick it off your snowshoes. We really haven't had the nicest snow this year at all. You know, it's either been too heavy, that really heavy packing snow. There's really not much of it either. I think in the bush here right now we have like maybe a foot and a half, which is crazy. We usually have a lot more than that this time. I mean, there's times when I've been here at the cabin and the snow like can be waist deep and stuff like that. So it's a very strange year, that's for sure. I'm a little bit worried. Water levels are gonna be pretty low this spring. Last year we had a decent amount, but really not much this year. I don't know. Tell me what it's like near you guys this year, this winter, what you've had going on. I always like to hear about how things are in different parts of the world and North America too. Beautiful morning. Birds are out, jays, chickadees, you name it, they're out. And of course our little redpoll friend. That was pretty cool. I feel bad, those redpolls, they typically flock up, and this guy, there's only one of them, so he's hanging out with his chickadee friends. I don't know whether he got separated from his flock. Maybe he was sick early in the season and he's just hanging out by himself now. But I'm glad I've got little seeds out there to feed him. It's so nice to get out here and do a little bit of snowshoeing. It's just beautiful, nice and quiet. Good for the soul. Forgot how hard the cold is on my equipment. You guys can see here the road snapped off, that little plastic piece right there. Oops. Anyways, so it's loose and floppy right now. I gotta fix that when I get back to the cabin. And now we're getting into the deep stuff off of the snowmobile trails. Whew, a little tough going. It's hard because it's that crystalline stuff and I want to sink right in versus floating on top. So this area I have not opened up yet with the sled. Royce and I did not do that part yet. So we're just going to explore and take our time. It's a little bit tough going for him, but he has lots of fun. Chewing all the sticks. He's a stick-obsessed guy. So he's looking for sticks even though they're all buried. Smart guy, walking in my tracks. Except when he stepped on the snowshoe. There he goes. Yeah, he brick trail for me. The other way around. Here's a nice balsam fir. Remember when I was 12 or 13 having my very first balsam fir tea. It's really nice. So basically you collect the needles and you put it in some nice hot water. You got yourself a really tasty tea. So I might actually collect some of this and make some tea for when we get back to the cabin. Here we are at the bay, the end of our little hike. Frozen over, full of beautiful snow. So peaceful. Here's some old man's beard on this old snag. This stuff is really good. It's, you know, really good for wound dressings as it has purported antibacterial properties. So it's a good fire starter as well, but a very, very good, you know, if you have a small cut or wound, you can prepare the old man's beard and it'll help with infections in a pinch. See lots of rabbits out here feeding on the spruce tips. Royce is hot on the trail of one over there. I've always loved being in this area. A lot of shelter and a lot of good food. There's a lot of good sign right there. Here they're nibbling under here. Probably means there's a good rabbit population this year. Lots of them in and around here, lots of tracks up here. Coyotes tend to follow this path as well, following the food source. There's the ice wall this year. Pretty impressive, although I have seen more ice on it. It's not common you see too much of the stone visible. Always like this spot, it's kind of cool. If you had more ice on here, I mean, you could climb this, but this year it looks like there's a lot more like icicle type growth on it. Sometimes it's just mounded up. Speaking of coyote tracks, there's some right there. It's got fresh snow on them, but probably from yesterday or something. There's my little guy. Just loves to play out here. So happy. Loves taking snow baths too. Makes his beard smell a little bit better, to be honest. I hate when that happens and I forget to put my hood up. Ah, it's cold. It's so nice here at the cabin. Let's made it back from our hike. We're just gonna relax for a bit. I'm gonna make some balsam for tea next. Let me tell you, that sunshine, that's warm sun. Broken the back of winter, that's for sure. So one of my favorite things to do is actually just sit out here and enjoy the sounds of nature. Just getting the balsam tea started. It already smells good. Smells like the woods. Smells like Christmas. Don't want it boiling or anything, just kind of warming up there. Let it infuse for a while. Taste of the woodland, really good. Well, I'm so happy to be back here at the cabin. I just already feel relaxed. It's such a great place to be, so quiet. Get to see all my little woodland friends again and have a good time. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video here at the cabin, and I hope to see you in the next one. Have a great week. Take care.